Hey guys, today I know the screen is blank, but that's because I don't really have a picture because I'm just going to be talking in this video. So, this is my first theory video, and I have a theory on Five Nights at Freddy's Springtrap and the phone guy. So, we all know that on night 4 in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, something happens. And a lot of people make theories like phone guy faked his death, or phone guy did something, or phone guy is in this spring trap costume. Well, we all know that these two guys could be related, or they could not be. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is when the phone guy fakes his death. First, what he starts talking about, like, oh, well, you made it, that's pretty good. Then there's banging on the door. And all as we know, a lot of people did videos like, who killed the phone guy? Well, my theory is, I think it could be a Freddy. Because everybody knows about the purple guy, right? Well, people say, oh, it could be a Freddy. Well, for a minute, I thought it was Freddy too. But then some people started saying, oh, he's in the Springtrap costume. So it could possibly be Springtrap. But next we have to go to about that. So now we have to go on to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. We all know that the phone guy eventually stops calling after the fourth night, right? Well, I think that's what happens because I've never actually played the third one, but I played the second one and I got to the fourth night. So we all know that, right? Well, anyway, we all know that the phone guy stops calling eventually because that's what I heard in a video. But if he stops calling, then guess what? He's probably in the Springtrap costume. And Springtrap is probably because a lot of people think, okay, he's in the Springtrap costume. He probably is. Springtrap probably wasn't an animatronic before the fourth night when he starts calling you. And then he was the one who killed him so that he could probably gain more power because we all know about the purple guy, right? We all know that the purple guy takes kids and puts them in the costume, right? Well, next we have to say, okay, well, if he did that, then Springtrap came to kill the folk guy so he could stop telling you information. Because he always led you guys to some information so you guys could start surviving the night. Well, if he stops telling you guys information, then you guys won't be able to survive because all as we know, some people say, okay, Springtrap is like the worst animatronic ever. Even though there's the Nightmare guys, he's like the worst before the fourth one. That's what I started hearing before the fourth one came out. But anyway, my theory makes a bunch of sense. So if he stops calling and the purple guy sticks kids in the costumes and Springtrap ends up in the third one, he turns out as a new animatronic. What if he didn't have any kids stuck in him? Maybe he didn't want it or something. But for any reason, for some reason, Springtrap, as we know, was never in the second or first one of Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, as we know in the first and second FNAF, we know that Springtrap is never in them. It's always the same crew. And even in the fourth one, nobody goes away. But Springtrap comes, and he comes in the fourth one. Third one. I keep getting confused. I'm sorry. Comes in the third one, and as we know about the Grumpy Bear, she said that his corpse could probably be in there. So my theory basically is, if you kind of don't get this all, basically Springtrap had absolutely nobody stuck in him because he only comes in the third one, right? So he decided he's gonna kill the phone guy to stop telling you guys information so you guys can stop surviving all the nights, right? So when he comes and kills the phone guy, guess what? He comes in the next one so he can prepare his attack with even more power because he's got somebody stuck in him, the phone guy. So if you guys like the theory, please let me know in the comments down below. And what do you think about it? Do you think Springtrap has a reason for sticking the phone guy? Besides, nobody's ever heard that, like, Springtrap gets a kid stuck, right? So, if you like